The special session takes a break. A live look at a Norman Street name change. And a Norman business faces potential challenges. This is OU Nightly. Day 3 of this week's special session came to an abrupt halt this morning.
Republican House Speaker Charles McCall told his chamber to take a break until it can come back with a deal to close the $215 million shortfall. McCall says negotiations will now take place behind closed doors between the legislature and the governor. He does not want to continue wasting taxpayer dollars by working on the clock. Each day of the special session costs taxpayers $30,000.
McCall says first priority is passing a cigarette tax, although House Democrats oppose it unless it is paired with a higher tax on oil and gas production. In a statement, McCall said House Republicans do not have a plan to address the hole without House Democrats, but will need the support of a governor and the Senate, who have continued to negotiate with this week.
And in lieu of a budget solution, the Oklahoma State Department of Health announced a plan today to cover its estimated $10 million budget shortfall. The agency will offer voluntary buyouts and furlough employees making more than $35,000 annually.
The Norman City Council heard public comments on the issue of changing the name of Norman's DeBar Avenue last night. Nightly's Kyle Payne was there and joins us live from DeBar Avenue. Kyle.
Harlee, Edwin DeBar was one of OU's original 4 professors, but his role as the chaplain of the KKK has sparked a debate to change the name of DeBar Avenue right here in Norman. I spoke last night with Bria Clark, who is spearheading the effort for the change.
It serves us well to listen to students in this aspect. And knowing that we have a street out there named after a national member of the KKK and just leaving it there, I don't think it sends a strong message of us taking seriously our charge to be an inclusive community.
At the City Council meeting, crowds arrived in droves to support the renaming of the off-campus street. Many OU students, including SGA President J.D. Baker, spoke on behalf of the proposed name change. After a long but productive discussion, Clark, who started the petition, gave a brief history lesson about Edwin DeBar before calling Norman to action.
We have an opportunity to disassociate ourselves from this hateful legacy in our past, and I plan to take that opportunity. Comments tonight have shown that the street name in question has become inappropriate by today's standards of equality, inclusivity, and decency. I hereby call for the City of Norman to investigate this street name.
The petition is still short the signatures it needs, but the City Council meeting last night gives Clark hope that the name will be changed as soon as possible. That's it for now. Back to you guys in the studio.
Testimony continues in the trial of a man charged with killing a co-worker. A psychiatrist testified Alton Nolan was insane at the time of the 2014 attack. Nolan is facing first-degree murder charges as well as 5 assault charges in the attack that killed a 54-year-old Colleen Hufford. Prosecutors argue Nolan knew right from wrong. Attorneys say testimony could wrap up and end today, with the jury instructions and deliberations beginning as early as tomorrow.
Rain, 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 go away, or rain, rain, here to stay. Marisa, can you tell us more?
Yeah, guys, we've had a lot of rain in the past couple of days, and this is what we've seen most of today. This is the cold front that moved through late last night and has been moving through for most of the day, bringing us those much cooler temperatures today. And this is the rain. We're having a little bit of a lull right now, but we are going to see some more rain coming to us later this evening. But I'll have more on that in Maine weather. And we do still have some flood warnings near Lawton. Those will expire around 7 p.m. tonight, but this area of the state will be receiving most of the rain, so be aware of those flood warnings in those areas. We are going to be drying off, the temperatures will be warming back up, and it's going to start to finally feel like fall here in Oklahoma. I'll have more for you later in the show. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Marisa.
Much needed help is finally arriving in Puerto Rico. Nightly's Taitum Wilson is in the news center with more.
That's right. It's been 1 week since Hurricane Maria destroyed Puerto Rico. With no power and high temperatures, it's becoming difficult to find food, fresh water, and life-saving medical care. Puerto Rican Governor Ricardo Rosselló is urging Washington to help the island.
During Harvey, we sent out resources to Texas as well so that they can help in the rescue process. And now it's the time to take a quick decision and help out Puerto Rico.
3,500 pounds of crucial supplies landed in San Juan from Miami this morning. And Republicans today unveiled some details of a long-awaited tax reform plan that cuts taxes for Americans across the board. Some of the key goals of the tax plan include reducing the number of individual tax rates. Currently there are 7. This plan reduces it to 3, with proposed tax rates of 12, 25, and 35%. This initial plan, negotiated by a small group behind closed doors, is a long way from becoming law. And President Donald Trump today continued his attack on NFL players who are taking a knee during the national anthem.
And in my opinion, the NFL has to change. Or you know what's going to happen? Their business is going to go to hell.
Over the last several days, Trump has tweeted more than 24 times about the NFL. The president says his criticism does not undermine NFL players' right to free speech. And Harlee, women in Saudi Arabia are celebrating after the Saudi king's royal decree declaring women in the country be allowed to drive.
Thanks, Taitum.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, one Norman business has been serving the community for 37 years.
Plus, how a $1 billion investment will benefit Oklahoma City.
Welcome back. The Norman Farmers Market has served Norman for 37 years. Now grocery stores like Sprouts and Natural Grocers are challenging the local market with their wide selection of organic produce. OU Nightly's Sam Hathaway reports on what this could mean for the future of farmers market community.
Vendors rent out spaces at Cleveland County Fairgrounds on Tuesdays and Saturdays to sell local produce, wine, honey, flowers, and even goat milk soap. Regulars frequent the market for their weekly grocery needs, but the recent trend is threatening the local farmers.
We make most of our money right here on a Saturday. Yeah, we do very good on a Saturday. We can do what we do here, it takes us a week in Ardmore at our stand.
The popularization of corporate grocery stores with an organic image is quickly rising. The conglomerate Amazon.com announced in June they're buying Whole Foods for $13.7 billion. This purchase is raising further concerns in the organic community, and people at the market are stressing the benefits of shopping local.
I just think it gives you that local touch that most stores don't have. I like knowing that this person that I'm buying this from, they handled it, they grew it, they are the one that's sourcing it and supplying it, and for me that's most important rather than just buying from big business.
Signs are used to tell buyers a little bit more about the produce that they purchase. Dark green signs show that the vendor grew the produce themselves, and light green signs represent food grown in Oklahoma.
Although Norman Farm Market offers a more personal touch, they struggle to compete with the low prices of corporate grocery stores that are able to buy produce in bulk. But veteran shoppers say newcomers shouldn't let the prices discourage them from the farmers market experience.
I know people think maybe prices are more, or maybe it's intimidating because they've never done something like this, but I mean, come with cash, just walk around, take it all in maybe the first time.
With big name organic grocery stores already moving to the area, it's up to locals to keep the Norman Farm Market a part of their community. Sam Hathaway, OU Nightly.
The Norman Farmers Market is open Tuesday evenings and Saturday mornings through the end of October. And Sydney Forsee is here to explain the lingering threat of Puerto Ricans are still facing.
Yes, you guys, Puerto Rico is crippled after Hurricane Irma and Maria tore through the island, wrecking everything in sight. The damage is being described as apocalyptic, but the Commonwealth faces more danger. Half of the Guatataca Dam has fallen apart and is leaking, with a threat of complete collapse. Locals have already been evacuated. But to make matters worse, the threat of another hurricane still lingers as we are only halfway through hurricane season. But for now, Puerto Ricans are picking up the pieces of what's left of their homes. And in more local news, Oklahoma City will obtain a permit for water from the Sardis Lake Reservoir. The city wants to invest $1 billion in infrastructure upgrades to bring water back to Lake Stanley Draper. While some say the permit could badly affect the wildlife in the area, the city manager says the water will help OKC's growth. Also, the Choctaw and Chickasaw nations would play a role in managing the reservoir levels, helping end the water settlement between the state and Indian nations. But guys, hopefully this, permit gets passed soon, and, things will get better between, the nations and, the state. So, yeah.
Yes, hopefully it will get better. Thank you, Sydney.
You're welcome, you guys.
Sonic likes to call itself America's favorite drive-in. Right now, Sonic is America's latest victim of a data breach. Sonic announced today it is investigating the issue, and the company is unsure which stores were affected by the breach. According to Krebs on Security, the ongoing breach might have led to the sale of millions of stolen credit and debit card accounts. In the announcement, Sonic says it is working with third-party forensic experts and law enforcement regarding the incident.
If you want to eat and give your money to a good cause at the same time, this week is your chance. Louis Bar and Grill and several other local restaurants are participating in the Dine United benefit to help donate money to United Way. United Way is an organization that partners and helps to fund other organizations like Bethesda, which provides treatment for children who have been sexually abused.
What United Way does for us is it supports our treatment program, ensuring that boys, girls, their grandparents that are maybe taking care of them, or maybe their adopted parents that are taking care of them, whoever that parent that's helping that child has a support system, has a means to learn healthy coping skills, and really has an opportunity to heal from this form of trauma.
The benefit started this past Monday and ends this Friday. 10% of the earnings from this week will go to United Way.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, an Oklahoma couple gets a delightful surprise.
And Marisa joins us with a look at the upcoming forecast.
Yeah, that's right, guys. We have a little bit more rain on the way this evening, but I'll keep you updated right after this. Welcome back to OU Nightly. This is some footage shot earlier today of students just trying to get to class. It was raining pretty steadily through most of the day, but we made it to class. There's some puddles. The sidewalks were flooding a little bit, but everybody seemed to make it. Everybody was just a little bit soggy during class today, but we made it through. And as for what we're going to see for the rest of the night, this is the little bit of the lull we saw earlier this evening, but now we are going to get a whole nother thing of storms to the southwest of us. But this is what's going on right now here in Norman. We have some storms, some patchy storms, but this more intense storm system is going to come through Norman in just a little bit. And to the southwest of us, these are the areas that are still flood watched until about 7 p.m. tonight. And these areas of Oklahoma, like Lawton, Geronimo, those areas are going to receive the highest amount of rainfall during this whole system. And our current temperatures outside are absolutely lovely. That cold front has brought us down to 60s in most of the state. You can see the cold front is about here, which means it's still upper 80s near Idabel, but they will get the effects of the cold front probably overnight tonight. Now, when is this rain going to end? Let's see. This is what's going to happen the rest of tonight, but these high pressure systems lingering above us are going to keep us dry. Tomorrow it is mostly dry throughout most of Oklahoma, and then it should be dry into most of the weekend. The current rainfall, we have 2.5 inches accumulated in Oklahoma City and 1.6 inches in Norman. So there's a little bit of flooding, nothing major, just sidewalks and streets have a little bit more water than we're used to. So that rain is going to continue a little bit into the evening, and we'll get down to about 60 degrees by midnight tonight, so we're really enjoying those cooler temperatures. The lows tonight here in Norman, 59 degrees, which is just exactly normal for this time of year, so we're finally in those normal temperatures. Tomorrow it's going to heat up to 70 degrees, be a nice day, and the highs across the state in 70s all around. And as we're going into later this week, it's finally going to start to feel like fall with just a little bit more rain chances. And for the rest of this week, it's going to heat up towards the end of the weekend, and we're going to have some normal fall weather starting next week. No more rain, no more 90-degree weather. It's going to be pretty normal.
I personally am enjoying the rain right now.
I'm liking it too. It's a little bit of a break from the scorching 90-degree heat.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, Marissa. And Sam Brown is here to talk about the fallout of a recent college basketball investigation. Sam?
That's right. A corruption scandal has rocked the college basketball world. I'll tell you which one of the game's best coaches is almost out the door. And Johnny Football is still out of a job. Sports is straight ahead. Welcome back. Louisville head coach Rick Pitino and athletic director Tom Jurek were put on unpaid administrative leave today by interim president Greg Postal. The announcement comes a day after the school was linked to a federal investigation of fraud and corruption. Yesterday, 10 men, including a top Adidas executive and several college assistant coaches, were charged with using hundreds of thousands of dollars to bribe athletes' choice of schools, shoe sponsors, and more. As a result, 2018 recruits Anthony Simons and Courtney Ramey have both decommitted today from the university. They weren't the only ones to back out of their commitments due to the investigation. 2018 five-star power forward E.J. Montgomery has committed from Auburn after assistant Chuck Person was one of the coaches arrested on the fraud and corruption charges. And after a nail-biter win at Baylor, the third-ranked Sooner football team finally gets a bye week. Here's what CeeDee Lamb and Baker Mayfield had to say about their time off.
I'm going home for the weekend and see my family. It's my mom's birthday on Sunday, so I'm going out to see her, and then I'll be back here, get back to work.
So that's the physical break, but and also the mental. But at the same time, it's much more than that. You know, like you said, you work on the basics for a couple of days, and then you realize that it's going to be a grind after that. So you really have to try and relax.
In other Sooner news, after a loss against Iowa State on Saturday, the volleyball team looks to bounce back as they take on North Texas today at 7 in Denton. And the University of Alabama at Birmingham will be honoring the patients of Children's Harbor by wearing their names on the jerseys this Saturday against Louisiana Tech. The hospital is located 1 block off of UAB's campus, and the Blazers regularly make trips to the hospital to spend time with kids. Despite all of Paul George and Carmelo Anthony's efforts, Dwayne Wade will not be signing with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Instead, the 12-time All-Star will be joining his buddy LeBron James in Cleveland. Wade signed a 1-year deal with the Cavs for $2.3 million. LeBron and D-Wade are now reunited after winning back-to-back titles with the Miami Heat. Here's how OKC's lineup is shaping without D-Wade. Reigning MVP Russell Westbrook is starting at point guard with Andre Roberson. PG-13 will get the start at small forward, and newest member Carmelo Anthony and Steven Adams round out the front court. Back to football we go. The Canadian Football League has denied Johnny Manziel's bid to play in 2017. CFL Commissioner Randy Ambrosie has not ruled out the possibility of him playing in 2018 if he meets certain conditions. The former first-round pick hasn't played since the Cleveland Browns released him in the March of 2016. And Philadelphia Eagles QB Carson Wentz put a lot of faith in rookie kicker Jake Elliott with a win on the line against the New York Giants. Check this out.
This guy's a superhero if he makes this. I'll freaking give him my paycheck. I'll give him my game check. I'll give him my game check. He makes it.
Woo! That's really impressive for a rookie to hit a 61-yard field goal.
I mean, the best part is, he made it. They won the game, and Carson Wentz put his money where his mouth is. Gave Jake Elliott his $31,000 paycheck for making the field goal.
Well, thanks, Sam.
No problem.
And still to come on OU Nightly, how an Oklahoma couple scored a free wedding.
I'm Amina Switzer at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Oklahoma City firefighters rescued a woman earlier this afternoon whose car was overtaken by floodwaters. Heavy rainfall in the state over the past few days has flooded parts of northwestern OKC. According to Battalion Chief Benny Fulkerson, as many as 30 firefighters responded to reports of flooding vehicles. And the Environmental Protection Agency is spending nearly $25,000 to provide Administrator Scott Pruitt something none of his predecessors have had: a custom soundproof booth for making private phone calls. Pruitt is Oklahoma's former Attorney General. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Amina. And an Oklahoma couple started the next chapter of their lives a lot earlier than expected last week. Leftover flowers from a photo shoot gave the staff at Willow Creek Mansion an idea: a wedding free of charge for the first person to claim it, as long as it was within 2 days. A Broken Arrow couple jumped at the opportunity, and the flower-filled ceremony was carried out with flying colors.
All right, so Amina was talking about a little bit of the flooding in OKC, and flooding is an issue in Oklahoma all the time. Excessive flooding can lead to not only cars washing away in the streets, but even small puddles that look like puddles can actually be deep potholes and be very damaging to your cars. So when there's water in the street, you always have to be aware of it. Don't drive into standing water and be careful of those potholes.
I definitely drove into a few today. I don't know about y'all.
Maybe a few.
Well, thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.